Hello, everyone. I'm Fatma. I'm going to be your MC for today. And it's our pleasure at Tralecs to host two international speakers of repute, Ms. Maud Brunet from Alpadia and Mr. Sergio Palacio from en España. So it's an honor to have you both with us today to our plenary, as they are going to speak about experiences from France, Switzerland, Germany, and Spain on languages. Today's topic is basically going to be about the importance of foreign languages in career paths. But before that, I would like to give you guys a brief on Tralecs, what it is, as well as what they offer. Tralecs Education is a Bahraini school specialized in languages, teaching, translating, cultural exchange, and trips abroad. We were here since 2011, serving lots of students worldwide. So anyone who is interested to join language courses or learn a new language to open up their horizons and their opportunities, please follow Tralecs. Whether in Bahrain, Spain, France, Germany, or Switzerland. In addition to that, you can also have the chance to travel to those countries and live there from a week to 6 months. And you can also learn the languages there as well. And if you want to do so, you can register in schools through Tralecs. Courses are taught here in Bahrain. However, the benefits of studying abroad are endless because you can use the languages you're trying to learn more often on a day-to-day basis and basically use it regularly in markets, streets, public transportations, etc., etc. And it will also be easier for you to adapt to the language and the culture as well. So now moving on to our speakers, as I mentioned, we have Ms. Maud Brunet and Mr. Sergio Palacio. Starting with Ms. Maud, would you care to give us a brief on your school, when it started and its aims as well as its objectives?
Yeah, sure. So hello, everybody. I'm Maud. I live in France, and I'm here representing Alpadia and Kaplan International Languages. So can I share my screen so it will be easier to show the audience where we have schools and to tell them who we are?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, is it working?
Yes, it's working.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So who we are, Kaplan and Alpadia. Kaplan, we were founded in 1938, so quite a long time ago. Kaplan is an American company, and we welcomed more than 40,000 students last year. Alpadia is a smaller company. It's a Swiss company, which was founded in 1996. And last year, we welcomed 7,500 students. Last year, Alpadia became part of Kaplan Group. So together, we bring more than 80 years of experience welcoming students to learn an international language. We have quite a lot of schools and summer camps for kids and teenagers, and we are present in 9 countries. We offer courses in English, German, and French in these countries. So USA, Canada, in Europe, France, UK, Ireland, Switzerland, Germany, and also in Australia and New Zealand. So it gives you a quick and short overview of what we have and where we are.
Okay,
I think I will stop sharing here.
Okay, and Mr. Sergio Palacio, can you also please give us a brief on the school you're coming from, when it started and its aims as well?
Hello, everybody. Hello from Madrid. I am representing in Hispania language school located in Madrid, and the school was founded in 2002, so we've been already 18 years in the market. And one of the characteristics of our school is that we only focus on the teaching of Spanish, having more than 1,500 students every year from all over the globe. We are accredited by the Instituto Cervantes, which is recognizing the high quality both in teaching and service. And we do promote basically two lines of teaching. One is face-to-face here in Madrid, and another one is video conference teaching because of the new COVID situation. Yep. So we know now that the traveling has become a more difficult issue. Yeah. So that's why we offer these two options. We are combining them, and they are all, the two of them are working perfectly now at the same time. Yeah. So now we have students both here face-to-face in Madrid, and also students online with video conference courses with in live courses connected with our teachers from Madrid. We have different programs from 1 week, like you were explaining, till a whole academic year. And this depends a little bit on the objectives of the student. Yeah. So many of our students, they want to study Spanish just for casual matters. Yeah. So they just want to, in the case of this study of the Spanish language, there is a big culture connection. So some students, they just like the Spanish culture, they want to travel abroad, blah, blah, blah. So they do like sort of programs. And other students, it's what they're more involved into international education, and they do long-term courses because maybe later they want to start college or they want to start university in Spain. So we have basically these two lines of students. We also welcome a lot of students that are here in Madrid because of professional reasons. As you know, Madrid is a hub between Europe and Latin America, and due to the importance of the Spanish language, a lot of the professionals, they need this training in the Spanish language to later do business either in Latin America or in the US. Yeah. And well, so we do have a big number of students that are in this situation. And yeah, that will be a short sum up of what we're doing.
Okay, that's great. I prepared a couple of questions just to ask you both for your own opinions. The first question is, what would job seekers and graduates benefit from learning new languages for their career paths?
So, well, I think first thing they will benefit from is, of course, the language skills. So once they master the language, they will be able to communicate, work, and meet other people. So it will be a very good advantage for their future life, personal and business. It's an ability to work in different culture, because when you spend time abroad, for example, in my experience, I spent time living in Spain, living in China, and yes, you see how other cultures work, how other people behave, and it's something you will need in most of, and I think we can say in all international companies.
Okay, what about you, Mr. Sergio? What do you think?
Well, I think, first of all, the personal experience that they will live. So that's a challenge for everybody. When you go abroad, well, you're going to get to know a new culture. You're going to get to know, in our case, students that are sharing with the students from other nationalities. So it's not only the Spanish culture that they're going to learn, but they will go through, they will travel, yeah, when they're in one of our courses. Yeah, so they will get to know people from all over the globe, and that's also part of the personal training and on how you become to be a more rich person somehow. Yeah, and then of course I think learning, in the case of Spanish, learning this language, learning my language, it's a value for life. Yeah, because the Spanish language is the second language in the world after Chinese in number of speakers, of native speakers. It is the third language in the world in number of users, general users. Of course, English is the first one, then Chinese, and then the Spanish language. But if we consider Chinese to be like more localized, yeah, obviously, then we will always be either in the first or the second position, yeah, after English. So of course, most of the students, they already learn English. Then I think in the case of Spanish, that will be a very good value for their resumes and for their professional profile to speak our language. Yeah, and yeah, that will be basically.
Okay, and what do you think are the challenges that someone may face as they're learning a new language?
Do you want to start, Sergio?
Sure. I think the main challenge is to open your mind to other ways of thinking. So when speaking a language is not a grammar issue, it's also a cultural issue. And when you're learning a new language, you also learn how to say things and how to see the world from someone else's point of view. Yeah. So I think that will be a big challenge, which is a positive challenge anyway. Yeah. But that will be to be more open to a new culture. Yeah. So that will be one of the biggest challenges. I don't know if Maud agree on this.
Yes, I totally agree. I think, yeah, grammar, verbs, or words is kind of easier to learn because yes, you have to study and it's okay. But learning how other cultures work and how you also should behave in this new country with these new people you are meeting is very interesting. First, I think it's really nice as an experience, but of course, yes, quite challenging too.
Okay, this question is about your school and getting a certificate from it. What horizons will it open? For example, scholarships, investment opportunities, internship opportunities, and such. What type of horizons will it open?
Well, in our schools, for example, you can follow different paths of programs. So all programs will include a language course. So depending on the program, students will have to reach at least a B2 or a C1 level in German or in French or English. And when they achieve that level, they will be able, for example, to enter university in Germany. So we have a very good program for university pathway in Germany. So many students wishing to study in Germany come first to Alpadia. They learn the language there, and we help them with all the process to access university. We also provide students with internships or job experience. And also when students reach a good level of language, they have also access to the job market in the country. Well, depending also on the type of visa, of course, they have. And so, yes, with French or with German, you have much more chances to get a job in Switzerland, in France, or in Germany.
Okay, and Mr. Sergio.
Yeah. In our case, being accredited by the Instituto Cervantes, we also have preparation courses for the DELE exams. Yeah, these exams are the only official exams like Cambridge or Oxford exams for the case of English. So when a student is doing just a course with us, he will get a certificate. That's an attendance certificate from the school. But if he wants to have an official certificate, he has to take an exam extra for that. Yeah, we have preparation courses for these exams, and most of the students, they do them, yeah, because this is opening the doors to enter, for example, the university, or well, each university in Spain, in case that they want to continue their studies in Spain, they have different criteria, yeah, but basically they require a level B2 in Spanish language, yeah, which is not that difficult to get after a preparation with us. And this will be the main door that opens to them, yeah, so the university access. Then if we speak on the work market, in the case of our country, the most important thing is the personal interview, yeah. So since our courses, they're based in communication and in real use of the language, we do prepare students to be successful when they have a job interview, because you can say, well, my level in this language is whatever, but then at the moment of speaking is when people realize if you have that level or not. Yeah. So I think a conversation-based course or interactional based course that will provide you a very good preparation for the personal interviews when you're trying to find a job.
Okay, thank you for your answers, both of you. And how will living and studying with you strengthen someone's own CV, skills, and abilities as a person and as a candidate for both personal and career life?
Shall I?
Yes, please.
I think, well, I think we've given you already a little bit of an answer on this question with our previous comments. So as a person, you're always going to enrich yourself when you travel abroad, yeah? So that's something that, of course, if you had an international experience in your CV, well, the people who is doing the interview or the people that is going to hire you, he or she knows that already you had to go through this experience, that you, well, that your mind is going to be more open, that you have different points of view about things. So I think that's developing the critical competence, yeah, of each person, yeah, and that will be a very important skill in your CV, yeah, even that we cannot prove it or certificate this, yeah? But your critical competence, I think that's going to be an important point. And maybe Mott wants to.
Yes, I totally agree with you. And yes, for sure, having an international experience will be super well valued in a resume or during an interview. Then if we talk about personal life, I think that once you have lived abroad and when you know another language, when you travel in a country where people use this language, it's much easier for you to meet local people and to engage the conversation also with local people and to discover from inside, I would say, the culture of the country where you are traveling. So it's just not tourism and just seeing, okay, what the country can offer, but it's really living the country from inside. And I think it's very, yes, it's really nice when you are able to travel somewhere, I don't know, for example, in Mexico, and because you learned Spanish in Madrid, you can meet local people and not only interact with international travelers.
Okay, thank you both again. Ms. Maud, would you like to go through your presentation and show us what you have prepared?
Well, I can show you a little bit, yes, a bit of the courses, because I think, well, maybe I won't go into details about all the courses we have, because it's a bit, it would be a bit too much. But yes, sure, I will share it. No, you're not here. I don't have any more the share option. Ah, here. Okay. Up. Okay, I think it's working, right? Can you see it? Yeah. Okay, thank you. So as said, we have a lot of language schools where students age 16 plus years old can learn a language. So in North America, we have quite a lot of schools in the USA and in Canada too. For the people who have children who would be also willing to learn a language, we also have some summer camps. So these are the programs in red. So in that case, in North America, we have 2 summer camps, one in Toronto and one in Los Angeles. UK Highland, same, quite a lot of options to learn English. Australia and New Zealand. So right now it's quite complicated to travel, for example, especially to Australia and New Zealand because of the borders which are closed and planes which are not flying. So as Sergio mentioned before, we are also running online courses so students can learn the language online. And once they have the opportunity to travel, of course, we will be more than happy to welcome them on site. Switzerland. So in Switzerland, students can learn French in Montreux, and kids and teenagers can learn French, English, or German. France, this is for French courses, and Germany for German courses. So in terms of adult programs, so once again, 16 plus years old, we offer quite a lot of choices, I would say. So general English, German, French courses for students who need the language, I would say mostly to communicate. Exam preparation when they need a certification, business, academic semester or year for students wishing to wish to stay with us 6 months or 1 full year. We do pathway for university. So I mentioned before Germany, but we also have a lot of partnerships with university in the UK, in the US, in Australia. Well, I would say everywhere where we have schools. Career pathways, we are also having programs for students, for example, who want to work as engineers, nurses in Germany. So all the qualifications that Germany needs, because Germany needs quite a lot of professionals, I would say. And a few other programs such as volunteering, demi-pair or online courses. And just to finish with a brief overview regarding the summer camps here. So for students, so summer camps for students who are between 8 and 17 years old. And with summer, we refer to the European summer, so July and August. And for you to have quite a quick overview, I would say. So here you see the countries where we have summer camps: UK, France, Germany, and North America, USA and Canada. So if some students are interested in learning French, English, or German, and having an international experience abroad, because as we said before, it's not only learning the language, it's also living the culture. Please don't hesitate to contact Tralecs, and they will inform you about the best program with us, and then we will be also in touch together. You can also visit our website, see testimonials from students, videos, and quite a lot of information.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Maud. I just wanted to ask you, is the universities in Germany free? University?
Yes, that's a very good good point. So yes, most of the universities in Germany are free free. Well, they have to pay a kind of application fee or something like that, but we are talking about maybe 300, 500 euros a year. So in comparison with what can a university in the US or in the UK cost, it's nothing, I would say. So yes.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Sergio, would you like to give us some more information about the school you're coming from as well?
Sure, I'm gonna share screen. Moment. Just a second. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put the whole view. Okay, is it working for you?
No, it's black screen.
It's not working?
No, I can see only a black screen.
Okay, so I'm gonna do it like this. It will be smaller, but at least it won't be black. Yeah, now you see it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, basically our school is located in right in the center of Madrid. Yeah, so in this picture you can see the center of Madrid, and we are right here. And very next to the city hall, which is this awesome building. Some ministries around the area, like the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Culture. I just see it from my window right now. This is the Instituto Cervantes, the institution accrediting our courses. And this is the central Madrid, which is really a metropolis. So when people travel here to Madrid, they will be in the, not only the political, but it's also the cultural and economical capital of the country of Spain. Yeah, that's important to know. We have the best national and international companies. So that's an interesting point for students wanting to do internships, for example, or later wanting to enter the working market. And of course, the offer of culture and entertainment, it's great. Yep. Now, during the COVID situation, things have changed, but hopefully, yeah, in the next months, we come back to our old year-round activity, yeah? Because the good thing of a city like Madrid is that students, they don't have to think when they are coming, yeah? They can come anytime in the year. There will be activity in the city, which is not the same with other destinations. Maybe in Spain, if you go to the coast, if it's the winter time, maybe that's gonna be like without activity, but Madrid is a year-round activity, of course. And something also interesting of our city is that it's very easy to get to know new people, yeah, and practice, because we are talkative. So that's, not everybody speaks English. So students, they will be forced somehow to use the Spanish language, yep, and speak the Spanish. Well, Madrid, like I said, is a metropolis of culture and leisure. We have dozens of museums, very interesting gastronomy, nightlife, blah, blah, blah. And we always say that our classroom is the city itself, yeah? So what we want is to train students, and when they finish the course with us, the time that they are with us, that later they can go to the streets and practice what they're learning with us, yeah? This is the building of the school, yeah? Like I said, we are specialized in teaching Spanish. We have more than 1,500 here in the presentation. It says 1,200 students because we don't count the individuals, yeah? The student, the one-on-one classes, yeah? That we also have here in the school. They're not counted into this, in this number, and they're coming from all over the globe, yeah? More than 60 different nations. So we train students in small groups of a mix of 9 students because our courses, they're conversation based. Yeah, so for us it's very important this personalized and focus in the student focus training. Yeah, so we really pay attention to the personal needs of each student. Yep. Well, we have excellence in teaching and service, which is accredited by the Instituto Cervantes and also by FEDELE, which is the Federation of Spanish Schools in Spain. Yep. Well, most of our students, they come from the neighbors. That means from France, Germany, Italy, United Kingdom. We have a big number of students from the US, yeah, and also students from Asia. Students from other countries, including Middle East, they will represent between 3–5%, yeah, of the total number of students. This will be how a classroom look like. Well, now with face mask. Yeah. So now during to the regulations, the classes there with a face mask. This situation will change, but we're getting used to it. And well, students they are also happy. And like I said, we are based in communication and real use of the language. This is our main concern. So we understand that students can learn the grammar by themselves, even if they, but if you want to use the language, you need a professional training, yeah, for it. So from the different language skills, the reading, the listening, the writing, the speaking, and the oral interaction, in our courses, we focus more, not only, but more, in the listening, the speaking, and the oral interaction. Of course, we train the reading, we train the writing, but they are more conversation-based, yeah? So this is motivating a lot. This is very motivating for the students because they see from the first day of the course that they start using the language, yeah? And this makes, becomes in better results, yeah? So that's why we promote immersion programs. Courses can be either intensive, yeah, with different programs, 20 or 30 classes. They can also have an extra class of Spanish culture. And this is during the whole year and for all the levels. So before coming to the school, the students have to take a placement test if they have previous level knowledge of Spanish, but if they don't have, that's not a problem, yeah? They can continue, they can start learning from the scratch, from the beginning, yeah? Every second week, we start with new courses. We also have evening programs. And yeah, also cultural activities parallel to the courses so that they get to know other international students, yeah? And also the Spanish culture and the city. And yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing the presentation. Like I said before, now we also have the same programs online, yeah? So if students are now interested in starting traveling to Madrid, since that it's maybe not possible in all the cases, yeah? Then they can already travel virtually, yeah, with video conference courses, yeah? So they can ask you, they can contact you, and they can get more information on via Tralecs on how these video conference programs are working. Yeah, that will be a way of, well, starting the learning in Madrid experience, but from your place.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Maud and Mr. Sergio. I just wanted to ask you both, for the online courses, are they live and interactive, or how is the online courses? How do they go?
Yes, they are. They are. Actually, it's very similar to a face-to-face class. Well, I used the Corona time when I was working part-time to follow a German course, so I'm very familiar with our online German courses. And yes, the teacher is well, at school or at home, it depends. And most of the time we use Zoom or another IT tool or platform. And yes, you see the other students and the teacher, as I'm seeing you now, and everybody can interact. From time to time, the teacher can also split the students in 2 or 3 virtual rooms. So you are 2 and 3 by group, you talk together, the teacher comes to the virtual room and helps you with maybe 1 or 2 questions you have, and then after 5-10 minutes, it depends, all the students are again together. And it works very well. And one thing I found very good when I did it is that even if some other French speakers were with me in this class, we absolutely never used the French language. And I think in the physical classroom, it's more difficult not to use it because, well, you have these moments which are not really class, which are breaks, and yes, you attend to use your native language with someone who also speaks the same language. But yes, in online learning, you only use the language you are learning, and it's good.
Yeah, in our case, the courses, they are all via video conference. So it's pretty similar to a face-to-face classroom, but with some differences and some advantages as well. One of the main advantages is that, well, sometimes students, they are shy in a face-to-face course because, well, they don't feel comfortable in doing mistakes in public, or, well, there are certain things that we minorize them when you're in your own privacy, yeah? And that's a personal thing, but we had these testimonials from students saying, well, I feel more confident when I am at my own place, yep. Another another of the advantages is that there are many utilities and learning and teaching tools that before they were difficult to use in a face-to-face classroom. For example, when you want to share something with all the students, when you want to, of course, you have the digital board, but sometimes, for example, to see a video, it's more, well, you see it better if you see it in your own screen, or if you're with your, so there are certain exercises that are easier to do when you're doing a video conference course, yep. And we send materials to the students so that they also have physical material, yeah. So right now we are also sending a book, so they still have a physical book, yeah, with a video conference course. And we're now improving a section of virtual exercises that they can do anytime, yeah. So they can continue with the courses once that the video conference has finished. The student has a resource of materials that they can use 24/7 at their own rhythm. So that's also a big advantage of the video conference courses. Yep. And yeah, if your students, they are connecting from Bahrain, then the times are also perfect because there is only 1 hour difference in the case with Western Europe. And yep.
All right. And in your opinions, did the coronavirus change the mentality of people to accept virtual courses more?
Absolutely. I really think that I always try to think positive, yeah? And one of the positive things that coronavirus has brought us, if there is any, one of the positive things is that future is here. So we were thinking about online learning, and that was there because we were already doing online courses before the coronavirus in the school. But this has somehow forced us to improve the quality of those courses, yeah? And maybe some teachers, they were not so convinced of using this way of teaching, yeah? But now, I think in our school, like 90% of them, they do prefer now the video conference courses. 90% of them. This is a change of mentality, of course. And this is also a change for the student. Definitely, it is, because it minimizes the costs of your training, yeah? So some students, when there is a budget, and well, if you have to travel abroad, if you have to pay for accommodation, all this, so they prefer to make longer courses and to use this money to do a course for a longer time rather than a shorter time coming to the foreign destination. But anyway, in my personal opinion, both things have to combine to live together. Yeah. So it's the same as the physical and the digital book. If you're a reader, you're never going to get rid of your physical books. Yeah. So if you're a language learner, you have to go to the countries where you learn, they speak the language that you're learning. That's 100% sure, in my personal opinion.
And what about you, Miss Maud? What do you think?
Yes, I agree with Sergio, and I think for sure the coronavirus changed our minds. It also brought a much wider offer of online courses for students, not only languages, but also others. I think 1 year ago, when you were looking for an online French, German, Spanish language course, you didn't have so many options. Right now, there are many options available, many different timetables, many different intensities, and the student can really choose what he or she would like. So at the end, yes, it's a good opportunity for students. Maybe, as Sergio said before, some students cannot travel for, I don't know, 6 months abroad. So they can start with learning the language online. It will reduce the cost. And maybe after 3 months online, they will go to the country and get this immersion and this cultural experience.
Okay, thank you. Now, can you please share a piece of advice to give the audience, like who are job seekers, students, graduates, or employees and entrepreneurs?
Yes, well, I received, sorry. Do you want to go, Sergio?
No, please.
Okay. Actually, this is an advice I received when I was learning German. And well, I thought, yes, it's a very good advice. So when you learn a language, and even when you stop learning this language, but you want to continue, practicing it, I would say, use the language 10 minutes per day. If you can do more, of course, do it, but it's much better to do 10 minutes every day during several weeks and months instead of doing, I don't know, 2 hours twice a month, and it won't be so useful. And how to use the language 10 minutes a day? Well, you have a lot of opportunities. You can read newspapers on internet, you can hear a podcast, you can watch Netflix or whatever in the foreign language. You can find a tandem partner and speak with him or her 30 minutes. But yeah, every day a little bit.
Yes, well, there are many tricks that somebody can use to introduce the language. I agree with Maud. It's better to use a little bit every day, better than that would help a lot. So just a little trick will be to change the language settings on your devices. Yeah, so just do it. Just try it. Change the language settings on your computer or your mobile, and do it to French, to Spanish, to German, to the language that you're learning. You will learn a lot through it. Yeah, you will learn a lot. And another trick, me as a literature expert, will be that you take your favorite book and try to read it in a translation to the language that you're learning. Not the whole book, but just some of the parts that are touching more your heart, or the parts that are your favorites. If you don't want to do it with a book, you can do it with a film. And it will be easy to find, we translate everything into Spanish, so it will be easy to find a translation into Spanish for sure. And so try to, the things that you like in your own language and in your personal life, try to see them in the new language that you're learning. This will be just 2 tricks that, that you can include in your daily routine. And the third one, and maybe the most important one, will be to keep motivated. This will be, I mean, when you're learning a language, same than when you're learning to, I don't know, whatever, you know, sometimes it's like this, yeah? And there are some moments where you say, well, this is too much for me, this is I'm getting blocked. Just relax, breathe in, breathe out, yeah? Give some time, it will pass, yeah? So trust in yourself and think that you're doing a great job and that you know much more than what you think, yeah? So keep motivated always.
Okay, thank you both again. Do you think it's applicable for adults or seniors or elderly people to learn a new language, or do you think it's too late for them?
We do have problems especially for people over 50. Well, we say sometimes over 30 and over 30 plus and 50 plus, we say, like and you learn in a different rhythm, that's for sure, but it's never late. It's only that you need maybe to combine your course with some one-on-one classes and some private tuition, because of your rhythm is different, yeah? Unless you are a language learner for many years, then that's not a problem, but and also because maybe you have particular needs that other people in the group, they don't have. So maybe you want to focus more in your professional field, or you want to focus more in some, so when you're getting older, you're getting more picky. And that's why maybe things that are of a general interest, they go through you like more quick. And I recommend when for students with more than 50, so 50 plus students, in case that you have these students, that they combine the course in a group with private tuition, either if that's face-to-face or online.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea too. We also have 30 plus courses. We don't have 50 plus, just 30 plus. And well, I think no, it's never too late to learn a language. I won't say many, but we have some students coming and they are maybe 60, 70, 80. I think the oldest one was 84 or 85. So it was in Lyon, in France. And yes, when these people come, it's really interesting and nice because they really want to learn the language. Sometimes you have younger students and they are here because they have to, because they need to pass an exam, because they need it for a university entrance or for a job, but it's not really that they want to learn the language. Older people, yes, this is kind of a passion and they are very interested in culture, gastronomy, and so on. So yes, I think anybody who wants to learn a language, please come, and for sure we will find a course that is suitable for you. If needed, we will add private lessons, and if the person is motivated, she will learn the language. Maybe it can take a bit longer than younger students, especially if this person has never learned a foreign language in all her life, but she will manage and she will be super proud of that.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Maud and Mr. Sergio. If anyone has any questions, please write it down or raise your hand if you want to ask your questions verbally. But I have a more personal question. It's for both of you. How many languages do you speak? And did it help you personally and professionally?
Well,
what is the second question?
The second question, if it helped you personally and professionally.
Okay. Sergio, please.
Yeah, I speak English, French, German, and Italian, and of course Spanish as a mother language. And I can read and understand Latin and Greek. But in Spain, it's not that common to speak so many languages. most of the people, they just speak Spanish and maybe a little bit of English or French if they are older. Of course, it has helped me personally and professionally. I love my profession because I am in contact with people that speak different languages. And like I said at the beginning of this conference, when you speak a new language, you start seeing things from a different point of view. And somehow you acquire a different personality. So I am not the same Sergio when I am speaking English than when I am speaking Spanish or when I speak German. Yep. Something changes in your mind. And I think that's, well, that's giving you a lot of personal values.
So I speak more or less the same languages as Sergio, except Italian. So yes, French, English, German, and Spanish. Well, I can't understand well Greek or Latin, even if I studied Latin for 7 years, I think, but it wasn't really my my favorite subject at school. And yes, it helped me, and it still helps me a lot in my personal and professional life. I think first of all, it gave me very good opportunities. So I studied in Spain, in Madrid, actually. I did a semester at university at that time for 4 months. And well, I totally fell in love with Spain and Madrid. So at the end, I spent 10 years in Spain. Sorry, Sergio, after 5 years, I moved to Barcelona for another 5 years. And well, I just came back actually to France last year. So now it has been 1 year living and working in my own country. And at the beginning, you feel kind of a foreigner in your own country. And as Sergio said, yes, you are totally a different person. You have all that experience with you, all these people you have been able to meet. And still now, yes, I'm very lucky because I use 4 languages in my personal life, also in my professional. So I'm in contact with people from all over the world, and it's a big chance, I think.
Okay, thank you both once again. We have a question here. Someone's asking, there's the Turkish language. No, there's not, but there is in Bahrain and Tralecs. And there's another question someone asked. They want more information about the Spanish courses.
What kind of information?
It's not specific. She just wrote, I need more information about Spanish courses.
Yeah, I think, well, they can get all the information through Tralecs if it's information in detail, because the general information, I don't understand. Well, I need more information to give information.
All right. There's another question. I have a question. Do you think learning multiple languages requires strong language skills and continued practice and knowledge about history of any language you learn?
I don't think that learning multiple languages requires stronger language skills. I would say actually it's more the contrary, because the most difficult, I would say, is to learn the first language. But then once you know one language, it's a bit easier to learn the second one. It's again easier the third one. And yeah, from 3, 4 languages, you start seeing many similarities between different languages. And for example, I don't know, when I learned German, as this is the last language I learned, yes, some things were similar to English, other to French, other to Spanish. And so, yes, you understand better the language, and it's easier. So the more languages you speak, the easier it will be to learn a new one.
I completely agree with what Maud said. Your brain becomes to have a language logic when you learn more languages. So learning, when you're learning, for example, German, this will help you to understand many other languages around, yeah? You can understand Dutch, for example, if you have knowledges of German and English. So your brain also start to have a logic of languages. You don't need to have deep grammar knowledge to speak a language. That's something that we make very clear to our students and our teachers. Well, we have a presentation every Monday with the new students coming to the school, and something that we make clear to them is that they have to trust their teachers because they know how to dosify the information and they know how to make easy things that are not easy to understand unless you are, but we don't give we don't want language specialists. Yeah, we want people who can use the language. That's a different thing. So in the case of Spanish, same, French, German, there's so many irregularities and things that you have to assume because you cannot understand them unless you have this deep grammar knowledge, but you don't need to. I mean, that's something that will come later if it comes, yeah? Even me, like a language specialist, there are things that I don't understand or I cannot give an explanation yet somehow. So learning more languages is going to give you, is going to help you. Learning a new language is going to help you to learn another one and another one and another one. Of course, there is a limit, yeah? So at some point you have to stop.
Okay, so here someone's raising their hand, so I will ask them to unmute. They probably have a question.
Yes, I have a question for Mr. Palacio. Wondering how this collaboration between your school and Tralecs work. If I'm interested to go for online Spanish course and I'm not a beginner, I do have a knowledge in the Spanish language, but how's it gonna work? How's this online gonna work? Do you work with the Zoom or what do you mean by video conference?
Yes, if it's gonna be a course in a group, that will be with Zoom. Yeah, we basically use Zoom. In some groups, we have used Skype, yeah, because people, they require that. But in most of the cases, we prefer to use Zoom, and this is the standard, yeah? In some private classes, we use Skype because some people, they prefer it, but the standard in a group course is via Zoom, yeah? Because it gives you more tools, yeah, for the teaching. It gives you more tools. And if you're interested in our online courses, you can get in touch with Tralecs and they can give you better than us all the information because we are not based in your country, yeah? And then they can inform you on how to proceed with all the booking and all the, it's very simple, yeah, anyway. But you can do everything, all the questions that you have, they can answer them. Have I replied to your question?
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll contact Tralecs for more information.
Okay. One more question. Do you think learning a language from a native speaker is more effective than taking it from a non-native speaker?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, because a native speaker, I mean, when this is, I want to connect this with the things that we said before. Languages are connected to people and they're connected to culture, yeah? So when you speak to a native speaker, you are speaking to the language itself, yeah? And of course, when if a native speaker is in touch with you, you can say somehow metaphorically that the language is in touch with you, yeah? That's why all the teachers in our school, they're native Spanish speakers. Yeah, native Spanish speakers. They speak English in case that the student has a question or they have to solve anything in English, but we try to do everything in immersion and everything in Spanish language.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And learning with native speaker is very important. I would add, sorry, that also it's very important that the teachers have a qualification in teaching, because it's not because you are native that you are able to teach a language, and sometimes it's difficult to explain how we do that. Or I don't know, if you have a total beginner, for example, you need to know how you would start teaching this person, and this is something you have to learn. So I would say yes, native is very important, but also qualifications of the teachers are also super important.
Okay, there's another question over here, and they ask, how can we easily learn 2 to 3 languages at the same time?
I'm not sure I would recommend actually to learn several languages at the same time. I would rather recommend to focus on one. And once you master this language, to start with another one. But if you learn several languages at the same time, first it will be hard to focus on both and to have time to study well both of them. And then the risk is also to mix up the 2 languages.
Yeah, that's true. And that's important when you choose a destination. For example, in the case of the Spanish language, because if you, in our country, there are some regions that are bilingual with a local language. For example, in Barcelona, they have not only the Spanish language, but also the Catalan language. So for a student, it's going to be very confusing when he is a beginner to see 2 languages that are similar, but different at the same time. Yeah, because they will see the signs in the streets, everything in a language, which is not the language that they're learning, because maybe they're learning Spanish, but the signs they are in Catalan. Yeah, so, and they're very similar, but of course, different languages. I agree with Mo, learning more than one language at a time, it's only possible if you're focused in that thing, only in that thing, yeah? And if you already have certain level in a language, because if not, you can start mixing them up, yeah? In my personal case, I had to learn languages at the same time, and I did that. But honestly, when I was living in Germany, for example, when you are living in Germany, then you have to forget about the learning of other languages. You have to focus in the German language. If you're doing it from abroad, I would recommend, in case that you want to use that you want to learn different languages, that they're very different from themselves. So for example, that you start learning Chinese and Spanish at the same time, because you're not going to mix them. But please do not start learning Portuguese and Spanish at the same time. Yeah, that will be very difficult to manage, unless you have this this routine, yeah, so that you are a professional language learner.
Okay, and someone also said, I have heard a wisdom before, which says, if you want to learn any language, you have to learn how to love that language from your heart in order for you to progress in that language. Is that true in your opinion?
100%. I mean, you're only going to be successful, not only in the language learning, but in all the things that you do in your life, in the things that you love and the things that you believe in. Does not matter what they say. It could be your partner, it could be your job, it could be a cake that you're cooking. So you will only be successful if you love what you're doing. So the motivation to learn a language, that's super important, yeah? And that's going to make things so easy, yeah? In the case of Spanish language, that's funny, we have a lot of language learners that they hate learning English, or they didn't have a good experience in learning English. and they're very successful when they learn a language which is not English, because they don't connect this bad feeling that they have, especially people from France. Sorry, but we have a lot of students from France that they had a bad experience in learning English. That's something like a, well, they didn't like it. And then later, when they are an adult, they start learning Spanish and they are very successful in learning it. So, of course, you have to love what you're going to do.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's, I think you have said everything about that, and yes, it's if you love what you are learning, it will be much easier. Sometimes you have to learn something that you doesn't hate, but you doesn't like so much, and we all did that, I think, in the past. It's not impossible, but it's harder. But yes, if you want to learn language, I would say yes, of course, choose a language that will bring you opportunities in your personal and professional life, but choose also a language that means something to you and that you like, because it will be much easier and it will make also more sense.
Okay, and for the last question, and it is for Miss Maud, and the question is, how many places do you teach French, and how many places do you teach Germany, and do you teach French in France or also in Switzerland?
So we teach French in 2 locations, one in Switzerland, in Montreux, which is close to Geneva, and another location in France, which is Lyon, which is in south part of France, not really south, but I would say yes, maybe 400 kilometers from the coast. And for German, we teach German in Germany.
Okay, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, Ms. Maud and Mr. Sergio, thank you for joining us today. It was an honor, and we really benefited a lot out of both of you. So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for the invitation. And yes, it was really nice. Very nice to meet you both. It was good. We had a nice talk, I think, and I hope the audience enjoyed also the talk.
Yes, it was nice to meet you two both as well.
Same. Thank you very much for your time, and to all the participants. I think this is the first right decision that they did to come to this conference. Hopefully, this is providing them a lot of information, and well, if they have doubts or they, yeah, also for them has been like traveling a little bit abroad, yeah, getting to Europe, and I hope that they continue, or that they start with the language learning, yeah. They won't regret, never.
Never.
Thank you a lot, both. You're bringing the world much closer with all of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Thank
Same
you.
for you.
Same, bye.